There's a lot of anticipation growing over the iPhone 17 Air, since this new reported iPhone might finish up being the thinnest iPhone ever should it replace the Plus model in Apple's lineup this autumn. But the iPhone 17 Pro Max will certainly remain Apple's actual flagship in terms of features, specifications, and notably pricing. Based on the leaked speculations and specifications so far, there will certainly be some very substantial variances between these two phones. Which will be the best iPhone for you? This iPhone 17 Air vs iPhone 17 Pro Max comparison will break down everything we know so far. A picture of a metal plate matching the reported iPhone 17 Pro Max design has showed up online. Apple is generally speculated to embrace a new Pixel-inspired design for its next Pro models and the iPhone 17 Air. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are expected to continue to the same camera layout as previously, although they could be contained in a tray with a flash, microphone, and LiDAR sensor on the right. Several sources concur that this is the final design, and Majin Buu, a leaker who was among the first to report on it, has shared a photograph of a metallic section that they claim belongs to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Surely, the cavities in the portion are where you would anticipate the new iPhone 17 Pro Max to have holes or pockets for components like as the cameras and charging parts, such as the MagSafe coil. McRumors thinks this photo could have been shot on an assembly line. The publication has determined that the photograph displays computer numerical control machined aluminum or titanium chassis components for the phone. This suggests that the components could have been created using computer numerical control machining. If that's actually the case, these structural components are ready for the following processing processes, such as extra machining or coating. Apple Insider offers a different view. The magazine has not questioned the validity of the photograph, but thinks the plates could be designed for case fabrication and are not iPhone 17 Pro Max components. While you may be tempted to think that the circular apertures coincide with the reported iPhone 17 Pro Max design and draw the conclusion that the picture displays phone plates, two aspects indicate against it. Firstly, with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, Apple didn't employ full-body frames and instead opted for partial plates that didn't cover the complete body. Secondly, the leaked pieces include protruding features surrounding the cuts, which won't fit with the final design. The iPhone's design doesn't have enough area for these extruded parts. Thus, these photographs may exhibit the molds that will be utilized by case manufacturers. On the other side, Apple may apply post-processing methods to smooth off the elevated areas, but that's just my head going wild. Whether these are iPhone 17 Pro Max components or a case mold, the picture is another indicator that the phone will feature a redesigned rear design. Earlier in March, Bloomberg also corroborated the idea that an iOS upgrade is in the works. There hasn't been a big revamp of iOS for many generations, and it may be fascinating to see Apple pushing the limit on software again. And although we don't have any official disclosures about this, it appears all but assured that Apple is going to continue promoting its Apple Intelligence Suite. We're still waiting on certain planned changes to Siri that are designed to take use of AI technologies, so hopefully they will be completely developed and incorporated by the time the 17 series comes. Rumor has claimed all variants of the iPhone 17 will sport a 120Hz display, bringing the non-Pro models up from its current 60Hz refresh rate. That might be a welcome improvement, since the gap between the Pro and non-Pro refresh rate is startling. When Apple launched the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus with a 60Hz display, there was a bit of an uproar from individuals who anticipated more in 2024. This anticipated upgrade might address that, and perhaps bring the always-on display to the standard device. Apple might potentially update its ceramic shield display by employing an anti-reflective substance that's more scratch-resistant, McRumors stated. Vapor chamber cooling generally includes a liquid-filled narrow copper pipe positioned atop a CPU. When heated, the liquid turns to vapor before moving to a colder area of the chamber. The vapor then turns back into liquid form, and the process repeats again. To this point, the technology has been more widespread among Android cell phones. The Galaxy S25 Ultra enlarged the capacity of its cooling chamber to avoid the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU from throttling. The iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max will employ the A19 Pro processor, which promises improved performance and efficiency. However, the gains may not be enormous compared to earlier iPhone Pro models. Vapor chamber cooling might enable the devices to achieve their full potential. Overheating is particularly an issue in the vast mobile gaming sector. With cutting-edge graphics, titles may test the limitations of any smartphone. Manufacturers like GameSir provide controllers with fans connected, but a vapor chamber is a considerably more elegant option. The iPhone 17 Air might very well be the thinnest phone on the market. The alleged dimensions vary, but we've heard it might be anywhere from 5.5 and 6 millimeters thick. By contrast, the current iPhone 16 Pro Max is 8.25 millimeters thick. Interestingly, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is expected to contain a bigger battery than its predecessor, so it might be even thicker at 8.73 millimeters. In terms of overall appearance, the iPhone 17 Air's back might hold a single rear camera in a long pill-shaped camera bar. The flash would be on the far right side. Rumors suggest to a metal and glass design for the iPhone 17 Air, and there may be only one speaker instead of two for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is expected to include a new rectangular camera button that would stretch the length of the design and house the triple rear camera arrangement. Apple may potentially abandon titanium on the iPhone 17 Pro Max and settle for aluminum. The iPhone 17 Air's display is expected to be in the 6.6 to 6.7 inch range, therefore it will probably be smaller than the iPhone 17 Pro Max screen. Just like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is rumored to boast a huge 6.9-inch display. The Leaker Ice universe has indicated that the iPhone 17 Air is the same size as the iPhone 17 Pro Max other than thickness, thus it's likely they might have the same display size. The good news is that both the iPhone 17 Air and Pro Max are also believed to boast 120 Hz refresh rates, but that is absolutely not verified. It appears like Apple is going to keep the iPhone 17 Air relatively minimalistic when it comes to cameras. The next model is said to include just a single back 48 megapixels wide camera. The front camera will likely be the same 24 megapixels that's planned for the remainder of the iPhone 17 range, including the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Meanwhile, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is reported to contain both a 48 megapixels telephoto lens, probably with 5x tetraprism zoom, and a 48 megapixels ultra-wide camera. So those searching for the greatest camera phone will want to go for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. As you may assume, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is likely to contain the more powerful internal hardware. Rumors indicate to the iPhone 17 Pro Max sporting an A18 Pro CPU with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage to start. Why the iPhone 17 Air should feature a somewhat slower A19 CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of storage. So both the iPhone 17 Air and iPhone 17 Pro should be able to play the same demanding games, although I would anticipate the iPhone 17 Pro to give greater frame rates. In addition, the increased memory within the iPhone 17 Pro should contribute to greater performance in Apple Intelligence services, such as producing photos or utilizing writing tools. We don't have any exact news yet on the battery size for the iPhone 17 Air and iPhone 17 Pro Max, but it's logical to think that Apple will offer the Air a substantially smaller battery given its slim design. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is supposedly going thicker to accommodate a bigger battery. Based on teardowns, the iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 4,685 mAh battery. And in our iPhone 16 Pro Max battery tests, Apple's latest premium flagship lasted an average of 17 hours and 35 minutes. That's a terrific performance and excellent enough to make our list of the best phone battery life. I'm afraid that the iPhone 17 Air might last many hours less owing to its more restricted battery, but it remains to be seen. The iPhone 17 Air will apparently be the second phone after the iPhone 16 to have Apple's proprietary C1 modem. This modem doesn't support M-Wave 5G, so you're not going to constantly receive the highest speeds, but the C did well in our iPhone 16e tests. The C1 modem is also meant to be very efficient, and the iPhone 17 Air will need that without a massive battery to wring out as much endurance as possible. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is likely to stay with a Qualcomm 5G modem, thus it could provide superior performance in terms of quick networking. The iPhone 17 Air and iPhone 17 Pro Max feel like they are going to target quite distinct audiences. Based on the reports and leaks, the iPhone 17 Air will be oriented toward consumers who care about mobility and style above all else. It should easily go into a front pocket without weighting you down. At the same time, the iPhone 17 Air should deliver decent enough performance, even if it has a little lower CPU with less RAM and storage compared to Apple's Pro variant. The greatest iPhone 17 Air versus iPhone 17 Pro Max difference, other than the profile, will likely be the triple camera configuration on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you want to be able to snap ultra-wide photos and go in extremely close with a strong optical zoom, the iPhone 17 Pro Max will likely be for you. Plus, the iPhone 17 Pro Max will likely have a slightly larger display and bigger battery. It all boils down to what you're searching for when buying for the finest phone for you. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.